Hey folks, it's Mitch from www.passionforcigars.com, and I'm here with Ryan Beauchamp, and we have decided on this cold, snowy evening that it is a perfect time to have a pipe. Now this is an estate pipe that I picked up recently, and this will be the first time that I am smoking it. Ryan was good enough to clean it professionally for me recently, and it is really ready to go. Now, Ryan, you were telling me that you left a little bit of char on just to keep the seasoning, is that right?
The cake. The cake protects the bowl, also adds some flavor.
Now, speaking of flavor, you just handed me this jar. It says Cornell and Deal Mountain Camp Tobacco, and this smells like heaven. This is something special. Now, I am going to dig the pipe in here, which is probably not the best way to do it with this pipe. In fact, it didn't work very well. I got a little bit, and as I learned in a previous session with Stefan Tartaglia, I'm tapping this one down as if I was shaking a baby's hand. Now I'm going to take some more, and I'm going to tap it down as if I'm shaking a child's hand. And now I'm going to take a little bit more and tap it down as if I was shaking a woman's hand. A woman that I like, to be clear. For those of us who have gone through divorces and dealt with divorce lawyers, you never know. Now, the first thing I was told to do is make sure I've got a pretty decent draw. It doesn't want to be completely smooth, but you want to have a, you don't want to be blocked up. Is that right?
Like a milkshake.
Okay. Now that is a delicious milkshake. I'm going to tap it down a little bit more, and I'm tapping it down with my thumb and fingers. I could tap it down with my very nice pipe tamping tool, but really it doesn't make any difference, especially when it's cold. Now the first time I drew, I did not have any resistance. Now I am getting that milkshake resistance to it. I'll be honest, it's more of a McDonald's milkshake than a $5 milkshake from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready to go. Now you're going to light with a Bic lighter.
Yes, sir.
I am going to stick to my tradition. Now remember, this is the first time that I'm lighting this pipe ever, and I'm very excited. As I learned from Stefan, I'm pulling the fire away when I blow out. And I think I'm pretty much lit here. There we go. Now, one thing I've always noticed about pipe tobacco, it never tastes the way it smells. However, if it smells good, it will usually taste good. One other thing that I noticed is that the fragrancy of pipe tobacco is usually almost reserved for the people around you, because that's not what you're getting when you smoke the pipe. It is a different taste than what other people are smelling. Do you notice that as well?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. There's definitely some pipe tobacco that's spouse approved if you're smoking indoors.
So this, by the way, is branded TLOC, which is Tobacco Lovers of Canada. I have not yet mentioned any of the wonderful Facebook groups that I'm a member of, but of the groups that I am a member of, TLOC is one of my favorites. I know it is your favorite.
My absolute favorite.
Now, what is it? What is it that you love about it? And I'll tell you afterwards what I love about it.
Well, what's not to love about TLOC? I mean, you have a great group of brothers and sisters of Leaf. They're all willing to help. If you're looking for any kind of guidance whatsoever, they're more than eager to help, share their ups and their downs. Basically, lost my train of thought.
So one thing I've noticed, and I've been in and out of a lot of different groups on Facebook, And one thing I've noticed is that, A, it doesn't have the same snobbery as a lot of the other groups. There are a lot of groups that, oh, if you're smoking a non-Cuban cigar, it's crap. They don't want to hear about it. They're not like that in T-Lock. But they're also, they don't have the same politics that a lot of the other groups seem to have. Have you noticed that?
T-Lock is really the only group that I'm really active in. I mean, I'm on other groups, but more of just to pick up on things that I don't know about yet. I try to make posts, but I'm just not as active. I'm more drawn to T-Lock.
And we all have our clubs that we prefer. Look, there are some restaurants that I go to religiously, then there are ones that I go to from time to time. There are some foods that I love, and then there are the ones that I'll occasionally eat. T-Lock is the group that it's my go-to group. And then there are a few others. I'll actually tell you, there was one group that posted the other day, and I've been a member of it for probably a year and a half. And they posted, "We are cleaning house. If you haven't posted or posted a picture of yourself smoking a cigar in the last year, we're probably going to throw you out of the group." So you know what I did? For the first time in a year, I posted a picture of myself smoking a cigar in that group. Also for the second time, just for,
Just for good measure.
That's right, good measure. Now this is a very interesting smoke. This is not what I would consider an aromatic tobacco. This is
An English blend.
an English blend that just tastes wonderful.
One of my favorite blends.
Now, where do you generally get your tobacco from?
I like to support the brick and mortars that we have here in town when I can, but I would have to be honest and say that this was an online purchase
As
out of the States.
detected by the TLOs, well, out of the States. So this was put into the T-Lock jar.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we won't tell the owners of the group because they may get political on you. Now, you've been smoking pipe a lot longer than you've been smoking cigars.
Definitely, yeah.
When did you start smoking the pipe?
Last April.
Okay, and cigars?
Shortly after that, it was about maybe 2 months in that being on T-Lock, watching all the posts of cigars and pipes and everyone just talking about everything. So I made a post asking what would be the best starter humidor, and one of the group members actually made me an offer I couldn't refuse on a 50 count desktop humidor. All I had to do was pay the shipping, and it was mine.
Wow. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I know where that 50 count desktop humidor is right now. One of the great things about the Brotherhood of the Leaf, we really are giving and sharing people. So you were finished with that 50 count humidor, and I had just bought a humidor that I loved, except it had the name Club Eduardo in it, so I had to give it to my good buddy Eduardo.
It's a good man, Eduardo.
And I told you that story, and you said, well, I have a 50 count humidor that I'm going to give you in return for that. So I bought a used humidor, I gave it away. Ryan, somebody gave you this humidor, and when you outgrew it, you gave it to me. It's all about sharing.
Exactly.
And would you rather have that box sitting, collecting dust, or give it to someone who's going to use it?
No, I'd rather go to someone to use it, for sure.
Now, something I always detect about pipes, I've always said that pipes take more work to smoke than a cigar. So my pipe has gone out. I am going to relight it. But while I relight it, do you agree with me that it's more work than a cigar?
I wouldn't maybe call it work, maybe more intimate. You get to pack it, you enjoy the tobacco out of the pipe. And you always get different flavors too, out of different shapes of pipes and lengths and whatnot. I guess compared to smoking cigars, it's a little more work. Yeah, I'll admit it. But it's enjoyable work.
It is. It's, they say, idle hands are the devil's playground. Well, this keeps your hands busy.
Both
Now-
hands.
That's right. Now, why don't you tell me what pipe you are smoking there?
I am smoking a Mario Grande pipe that my wife was actually, I don't know what got into her, but she said, "Here, Ryan, happy birthday."
Now, is it possible that what got into her was she realized it was your birthday?
Most definitely. And she knows how much I enjoy getting together with her with the guys.
Now, last fall, you for the first time, maybe early winter, you for the first time opened your garage to the group. You invited everyone over to smoke at your place. How has that progressed from where we sat around that table a few months ago to where it is today?
Oh, well, I realized if I wanted to continue having Herfs in the House of Herf, I decided to put in a fireplace, which it's doing the job for now, but I'm upgrading to a furnace, and then hopefully in the future, down the road, I'd like to insulate the garage just so we can really be comfortable while we sit here and enjoy our conversations and our tobacco. I upgraded with a sofa. There's a second sofa coming out here, so I really plan to turn it into a real lounge.
And you are sitting in the most amazing wingback chair for a Herf. It is the design, the pattern is Cigars. Was that a pure coincidence, or did you see this at a garage sale or at an estate sale and say, I need to have that chair?
This chair was actually gifted to me for the purpose of using it in the House of Herf from a good friend of ours.
All right. So you keep calling it the House of Herf. Let me clarify. A lot of the guys who get together and invite people over on a regular basis to their cigar lounge, whether it's a garage, whether it's their basement, former rumpus room, now smoking room, have named their lounges their castles. You've named yours Ryan's House of Herf. So when we post on Facebook that we're getting together to smoke at the House of Herf, you know where we can find you. By the way, it's Carleton Place, or just outside of Carleton Place, which is just outside of Ottawa. I was at another friend of ours this afternoon. Don and I were smoking in, and he said, you know, I've got to come up with a good name for the lounge. And I said, I always think alliteration is great. I said, Don's Den of Cigars. He said, it's a little boring. I want something more out there. I said, how about Don's Den of Iniquity and Cigars? And he said, aha! And we christened the Den of Iniquity and Cigars this afternoon.
Beautiful.
You've never been to Don's Den of Iniquity, have you?
It's on my list.
We are going to have to get you down there. Now, we're sitting, it's probably 3 or 4 degrees below zero outside. For our good American friends, that's probably about 25 degrees, which is to say, it's cold latte. But we're sitting here, you've got your sweats on, I've got my leather jacket on, we've got the fire, and my gloves are over there, but I don't need them because it really is a nice ambient temperature. I'm not going to lie, putting my finger over the bowl does add a little bit of warmth from time to time.
The pipe takes care of you.
It does. So what I think we should do, Ryan, we should take a little break, and then we're going to come back and talk about different types of pipe tobaccos. And you've talked to me about a couple of different sorts, and we're going to discuss those when we come back. How does that sound to you?
Sounds like a good idea.
Well, Ryan Beauchamp, I'm Mitch Garbus for PassionForCigars.com. Thanks for watching.